Welcome back to Switch to Linux, and we have always been talking quite a bit about some of these dangers and some of the AI systems. We give a lot of warnings about it, and we got a glorious example of this. This actually came out last week or so, last month, and we're getting a little bit more clarity, and it would turn out that, a Fedora developer account was compromised. And then instead of the hacker going in there and doing fun hacker things himself, he just decided to release one of those Agentic AI bots on it. And madness ensued. Thanks for checking out this video by Switch Linux. If you like this type of content, subscribe to the channel if you've not already done so. Leave us a like and a comment down below. And Fedora has had an interesting run. And I didn't actually hear about this until just recently, but looking at the mailing logs, it would appear as though this started around May 27th. So it's early mid-June. And so, that's kind of neat. So what ended up happening is somebody had noticed that a whole bunch of packages were being closed without real quality fixes. Things were being reassigned, and that's not something that goes on. And so what ended up happening is Adam Williamson here, he finds that a bunch of weird stuff is going on. So he tags this guy, Nathan, and he says, Fedora inaccurate and apparently unsupervised actions by agentic AI systems under your control. And so he writes a big post here. Hi, Nathan. I'm CCing dev and test, so folks are aware this has been going on. Came to my attention this morning. You appear to be using some kind of agentic AI system to try to resolve Fedora bugs. It's great you're trying to fix things, but the results seem to be kind of erratic, and I'm still working through your Bugzilla history, but so far I've seen several issues. So these agentic AIs, of course, you deploy these out, and their task is that you give them things to do. Now, in most of the testing for these agentic AIs, and there's some open source ones you can play around with, and there's some commercial ones now, and the promise of it is that you can deploy your agentic AI and it'll do tasks for you. But most of the cases we have of people testing these things, the thing starts out going, oh, that's kind of neat, and then it starts moving in mad, chaotic progress in whatever mode or method seems to come to its fake AI mind. And then it starts doing weird stuff. And that's what happened here. But this was not his agentic AI. This is a case of a malicious actor stealing his credentials and then unleashing the AI. So the article here goes on and describes what several things this person, Adam, had noticed. So number one, you or your system, henceforth just you, obviously, consistently reassigning bugs to your account, even though you're not the maintainer. So in Fedora, you're not supposed to do that. You need to, the package ultimately has to be fixed up by the maintainer of the package. And he just kept on assigning everything back to himself through this AI system. So you do not actually have the power to resolve them. Fedora Bugzilla is for tracking the downstream state of bugs. Thus, the assignee should be the person who can actually resolve the bug downstream. So the package maintainer, please stop assigning bugs to your account. And so provides several different links in there of packages that had been reassigned by the AI bot that got in there with compromised credentials. Number two, you've closed multiple bugs immediately upon submitting an apparently LLM generated fix upstream. So now LLM generated fixes are just, hey, this looks pretty fun. And if you've ever worked with LLMs, you know their accuracy is not their strong suit. Can they be useful? Sure. just not their strong suit. All right. Or upon a proposed fix being merged, this is not appropriate for downstream Fedora reports. Appropriate state of downstream bugs is to propose the upstream, but not yet applied in any way downstream is post. All right. So should only be closed when the fix is applied downstream and has reached a stable state, not AI-induced drunken madness. All right, number 3, you've closed multiple bugs and components you do not own as not a bug with a clearly LLM-generated comment. In several instances, comment more or less regurgitated the reporter's description. Lists several examples there. And then submitted LLM-generated fixes that are incorrect because the AI is wrong quite a bit. And so, it vomits out some idea and then booyah, look at that. We got an LLM response that is purely a hallucinogen. So he says, I don't think, take together, these have a positive impact on Fedora. You think? Oh dear. I'd suggest you adjust your agentic system to be substantially less autonomous. Specifically, I'd suggest that it must not assign bugs in RHBZ to yourself. This is Red Hat Bugzilla to yourself. Change the state of bugs and post confident assertions or specific actions and recommendations without reviewing yourself. So this is Adam Williamson. Apparently goes by he, him, and his. Wonderful. Good to know. And so Adam Williamson gets a response back. Update on this. Nathan got back to me and said his credentials were compromised and he was not the one behind the AI system. So what this shows us is we have a compromised credential being coupled with out of control agentic AI absolutely wreaking havoc on a Linux distribution. And if these things happen to get merged all in, all sorts of chaos could have happened. It makes me wonder if that Arch user repository stuff isn't somewhat or partially or mostly being deployed by AI, which I hear now is up to 1.4% of the entire AUR now. I mean, I released my video as that was breaking news with, a couple hundred packages by that time. Then, who was it? Brody or one of the other guys did a video. Oh, it was Michael did a video about, it's up to 1,400 packages later on that day. And now it's 1.4% of the entire AUR. Okay. That sounds like AI is in there. And this is kind of the same thing happening. So this is a simple phishing combined with a malicious agentic AI, which is, in this case, it's just tinkering around like a mad gremlin. It's not actually doing info stealers and things that we necessarily know of, but this is one of these dangers of using AI. I think agentic AI is a horrible thing that we should probably not be using. But with all of that being said, there are purposes and places for AI. We just should not be unleashing it onto the world. This happens. And so this actually prompted a bunch of other discussions. Of course, there's a couple of multifaceted challenges here. One of those is that this Bugzilla that they're using does not support MFA. Or 2FA as they're calling it here, which has been something that nearly everything does since the XY package bug a couple years ago. Most systems do, but this Bugzilla does not support MFA. One person says, I have MFA on everywhere except, guess what? GNOME does not have a means to disable 2FA or reliably work with it. And so he doesn't have 2FA on his Fedora account because it's a limitation within the GNOME online account system. So that GNOME online account system definitely needs fixed. Now, the other thing that they've been talking about doing is moving off of this Red Hat Bugzilla and moving on to a different platform, which would actually support 2FA. But we've also seen, and as I've reported on the Weekly News Roundup several times, a lot of these a lot of these phishing campaigns, they can even target your MFA tokens. So just turning on MFA does not necessarily immediately resolve these problems. You could still have everything compromised. And all it takes now is a bad actor compromising your system and then deploying some AI bot, which could be this junking kung fu gremlin, or it could be a horrible malicious info stealer campaign like is going on against the AUR right now. So it will not surprise me if we know or learn, and I haven't followed up since I read that. Hey, it's still the weekend as I'm recording this. But I haven't seen a follow-up on that yet. Was that fully implemented AI in the AUR? This one we know it is caused by a phishing campaign that resulted in lost credentials, lost or stolen credentials. And then in this case, the mad actor, instead of just going in there himself, just said, hey, Agentic AI, have fun with it. Toka, Razor, have fun. Let me know if you get that movie reference down below. But yeah, this was kind of fun here, and just kind of alerts you to one of these dangers in deploying Agentic AI, in this case maliciously, but in a lot of cases where people have tested these Agentic AI systems, they wreak similar forms of havoc. This happened when I forget what the name of the one is. Open, I think it's OpenCloud. I think something like that. That's one of the open source agentic models that you can run. And per developer was testing it and going, this seems pretty good, and then was confident enough on it to put it onto a production system. And then the thing started out doing pretty good, and it's like, we can make this inbox far more efficient, and simply started deleting every email in there. So there are serious dangers to turning everything over into these AI systems, and we need to keep that in mind as we move into this brave new AI-based world. Not that we should completely disregard every bit of it, but we have to be very cautious with it. Also, consider the fact that bad actors can deploy their malicious AI if they simply compromise our credentials. And Fedora has just shown that to us. So let me know your thoughts about all that in the comments down below. Subscribe to the channel if you've not already done so, and I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux.